Hello, everybody. Welcome to the cello lesson live stream. And today we're going to be playing Minuet number 2, which is the last song in Suzuki book number 1. Yay! We finally finished playing through book number 1. So starting next week, I'll be going through book number 2. Okay. All right. So without further ado, let us take a listen to how the song goes. Just one second. There we go. That's a little bit better. All right. Just give me 1 second. All right. Ready? Awesome. So this piece is a little bit tricky, but I think we'll get through it just fine. There's only a couple of things we need to worry about. In this song particularly, we have to take care of string crossing in the bow, okay? So be very careful. Maybe we can practice doing that, right? Just play G, D, A, D like that. And also you can try 2 strings at a time, so just do G and D. And then D and A. So there's a lot of string crossings in this piece, so just be careful, okay? So let's just take a look at the first line of this section, okay? So let's do it very slowly. It's in 3/4, meaning there are 3 beats per measure. So I'll be counting 1 and 2 and 3 and 1 and like that. Let's go very, very slowly. All right. So 1 and 2 and go. 1 and 2 and up and. Alright, really good. So this first line, it's gonna come up a lot of times in this piece, so try and get this very comfortable. Let's do it one more time, okay? One thing, so focus on the bow crossing for this time, okay? So 1 and 2 and 3 and up and up. Now let's look at the second line of this part. So we start on open A and then we go down to G. It's kind of like a scale, right? A C major scale. All right, let's do it slowly. 1 and 2 and 3 and 2 and G and 2 and 3 and. So something to think about is this CF right there, in between the second and third measure, right? So just be careful of that part. Let's try the second line one more time together, slowly. 1 and 2 and 3 and pop over, yeah. 2 and 3. Excellent. All right. So now that we worked on the two lines separately, let's play this whole section together, okay? All right. Same speed. 1 and 2 and 3 and up and up and up and up and two and three and. All right, how did it go? I hope it went okay. If not, don't worry about it. Just take it slowly. Have your fingers get used to the fingerings, and then the bow. There's a lot of moving across the strings in this piece, okay? So don't worry if you don't get it the first time. Just take it slow, okay? All right, now let's look at the second section of the first line. Just 1 second. There we go. All right. So if we take a look at it, we can see that the first line is exactly the same as the first section we played, right? The only thing different is the second line, which is basically a scale coming down from A. And then we have something called a triplet, which I will explain when we get there. First, let's just play the first line together, just so we can play it many a times, right? The more times you practice something, repeat something, the better you're going to get. It's just a matter of probability. Just think of it like that. All right, so let's just play the first line of this section. Slowly. 1 and 2 and 3 and up and up and up and. Really good. All right. How was it this time? Not too bad, right? The more you do it, the more you're going to get used to the movements and things like that. So just take it slow. Keep on practicing. You'll be fine. All right, let's look at the second line. So the second line is basically a scale coming down from A, and we are always going to be playing our second finger here. So just be careful of that. let's play just the first two measures of this line. So 1 and 2, until, yeah, just the first two measures of the second line. 1 and 2 and 3 and G. Really good. All right. So the next part, you can see that there's the 3 notes with the 8th note flag. So normally in a play one and a triplet like that. So da 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 da, the triplet up. Excuse me. So it's like 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1 trip, like that. Triplet. It's a little bit difficult because the measure before we're going to be doing 8th notes, right? So let me play it one more time, once through at the speed we're going to be playing, and then we'll play it together, right? So it sounds like this: 1, 2, and 3, and I'll have one more time. 3 and 2 and 3 and 1 and 2 and 3, 1 triplet, 2 and 3 and 1 and 2 and 3. So just remember that triplets are, we're dividing a beat into 3 equal parts. So just try and feel the main beats steadily. So 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Feel those steadily, and then you're going to be subdividing it either into 8th notes or a triplet. So let's just try the last line, the second line together slowly. All right, ready? 1 and 2 and 3. 1, 2, 3, triplet, 2 and 3 and 1 and 2 and 3. Let's try it one more time. 1 and 2 and 3. 2 and 3 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 1 triplet, 2 and 3 and 1 and 2 and 3. All right, really good. All right, this part is a little bit tricky, so take your time. It's something to do with rhythm. You have to change the subdivisions a little bit. So take your time with it. Let's just play the second line, the second section all together once through, okay? All right, 1, ready? 1 and 2 and 3. Up and up and. 1 and 2 and 3 and 1, 2 and 3 and 1 and 2 and 3. All right. It's a little bit tough, but take your time. You'll be good. All right, let's take a look at the next one. Okay. So the next one is pretty straightforward. Let's just take a look at it line by line, okay? All right, let's take a look at the first line. 1 and 2 and 3 and And one, and up, and up, and up. Really good. All right, let's just do it one more time just for practicing sake. All right. 1 and 2 and 3 and up and up and up and up and oh, sorry, I went on. All right, let's take a look at the second line right now. So let's just play the first two measures slowly. 1 and 2 and 3 and so until there is normal, right? So if we look at the last two measures, we can see that we have the triplets again. The B, C, D. So that's gonna be all together. And then we have E. And then we have this G sharp, which is not on the first position notes that we know, right? It's gonna be a little bit beyond this fourth tape. So what we're actually going to do, there's two ways of doing it. So the easiest way would be simply shifting all of your fingers down. So your third finger is going to go where your fourth finger, pinky, is, right? So your third finger let's put our third finger on where the fourth finger tape is. And so your second finger is going to go on the second tape right here. Your first finger now is not gonna be on this first tape. It's going to be in between, right? It's going to be where normally your second finger goes, right? And if we place our hand over there, G sharp then is our pinky. So G sharp, if we remember from our lesson before, in my other video, G sharp is the note that's in between G. By the way, you can tune that third finger with your open G string. And then between G and A, right? So G sharp is somewhere in between. It's going to be in between G and A, right? So you can practice finding the note by finding G natural and then with your third finger. So that's going to be how we're going to play the G sharp. We're simply going to play, so if we're going to play E, and then move our hand just half step down, so all of our fingers are going to be shifting half step down. So the way to remember it is your third finger is now going to be where your fourth finger is. And then that G sharp. And then for the last measure, just stay on that position. A. And then when you're playing the second open A, we're going to move back half position to play this B. So it's a little bit tricky. So let's just do measure by measure. Let's just do the third measure. So slowly. Shift, G sharp, just like that. Let's just do until there. So triplet, E, pause, move your left hand, find that G sharp first, and then G sharp, and then let's play until that A. All right, one more time, that third measure. Triplet, E, and then shift with your left hand, and then bow. A. Stay on that A, let's keep on going, okay? G sharp, and then while you play this A, we're going to move our left hand back, okay? Back, and then B. Let's just try the last measure together. So slowly, A, first play A, G sharp, and then when you play this open A next, move back your left hand, and then B. Alright, it's a little bit tricky this part. It's pretty hard actually. So if you don't get it first time, just play it step by step like how we're doing, okay? So, let's just do the last two measures very slowly. So, we'll do it in rhythm though, okay? 1, 2, and 3, triplet. Shift, and shift. There we go. Alright, how did it go? Let's try it one more time. Let's do it 2 more times, okay? 1 and 2, triplet, 3, triplet. E, shift, G sharp, and A. Shift. Yeah, there we go. That time was better, I hope. Alright, let's try it one last time, and then let's play the second line all the way through, okay? 1, 2, triplet, 3, triplet. E, shift, and shift. There we go. There's a lot of things you have to think about. So just take your time. Remember that you're trying to move your left hand when your bow is stopped, okay? Or playing an open string. So just take your time. It'll take a little bit of getting used to, but you'll be fine, okay? Alright, let's just try and play the second line, the entire second line of this part, alright? 1 and 2 and 3 and and 2 and 3 triplet. Shift and there we go. Alright, let's just try and play this section all the way through, the top and bottom line, and then let's move on. Alright. 1 and 2 and 3 and up and up and up and up and triplet. Shift and shift. Excellent. Since this is a difficult part, let's play it one more time through. Alright? Same thing. 1 and 2 and 3 and up and up and triplet and Excellent. All right. This part is very difficult, so take your time learning it. I would probably focus most of my time on this section. So, all right. Now let's take a look at the next section. We're almost done. All right. So this is pretty straightforward. Just a C major scale. Remember that C major, we play second finger on the A string, on the D string as well for C natural and F natural. And then on the G and C strings, we go back to our third finger, right? So just remember that. Let's just play all the way through. All right. Just a quick note. Second line, we're gonna retake and start on the down bow. So just a quick note, okay? I'll yell it out. All right, slowly. 1 and 2 and 3 and C, A, F, and retake the bow down. Either you can retake the bow, maybe you can also do a slur, so up, slur, but I think it's better if we retake the bow. Alright, let's try it one more time. Ready? Alright, 1 and 2 and 3. 1 and 2 and F and lift down. 1 and 2 and 3 and 1 and 2 and 3. All right, really good. We're almost done. Let's take a look at the very last section. And if we take a look at the last section, it's actually the same thing as the second part we looked at. So, let's just play through it slowly once, and then we'll take a look at all of the piece, top to bottom, okay? So, let's just play through the section slowly, one time through, all right? Ready? 1 and 2 and 3 and up and up and triplet up and all right. Okay, just remember, take your time learning section by section. You don't have to learn this all in one day. Just take your time learning it. So, yeah, maybe one day take a look at one section. The next day you can look at the next section. Just take your time with it. It's not a speed run, okay? All right. Now, let's try and play from the beginning until the end. I know there's a repeat in the first section, but we're not gonna do the repeat here, okay? So let's just try and play through the whole thing from the beginning to the bottom, okay? Just 1 second. Okay, ready? 1 and 2 and 3 and and up and up and 1 and 2 and hop. 1 and 2 and 3 and triplet and keep on going. 3 and up and up and get ready. And up and triplet, shift and shift. Lift. One and 2 and 3 and up and up and triplet up and 1 and 2 and 3. All right. Really good job. So take your time with this piece. Just learn it slowly, play through it slowly. For now, we're going to play a little bit faster, and then we're going to play with the accompaniment and then call it a day, okay? All right, so. Let's go this fast. Dun, 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 dun. 1, 2, 3, 1 and 2 and 3 and. All right, ready? 1, 2 and 3. Keep on going. 2 and 3 and. Up and up. Triplet. Shift. So remember to try and practice it slowly and then gradually build up the speed. I'm still playing under tempo right now than what the accompaniment is. So on your time, try and practice a little bit faster than what we're doing right now. You can use a metronome to help you out with the pulse, okay? All right. But for now, let us take a look at the song again. Just one second. There we go. All right. So let's play with the accompaniment now, and let's call it a day for the class. Okay. All right. So remember a couple of things. String crossing, excuse me. String crossing, try and get used to all the different movements going up and down the strings. Also, remember about the triplets. The triplets are a little bit tricky, especially when they're right after the eighth notes, okay? So just try feeling the big beats. I think that's the easiest way. So feel 1, 2, 3, 1. If you feel the big beats, I think you'll be fine. Okay? All right. Let us play through it one last time and then call it a day, okay? All right. Well, that's it, folks. That's gonna be it for today. Thank you for tuning in. That's the last song of Suzuki Book number 1. So if you made it this far, congratulations. What I suggest you do is make a video or just play through all of the songs from the book, kind of like a recital, right? And I will see you next week with Suzuki Book number 2. All right. Congratulations. And happy practicing. I'll see you next week. All right. Bye.